Hello and welcome to JN CareerApt. This is Nithya Natarajan. Today's guest is Ms. Maya Fernandes, a visionary educator with over 18 years of experience as a teacher, principal, and published author. A Harvard certified school leader and series editor for Cambridge Publications, she brings global insight and deep academic expertise to her work. Honored with multiple awards and serving as a US ambassador for the Sustainable Development Goals, she is passionately shaping education that prepares students not just for exams, but for life. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I'm greatly honored to be hosting you today. Welcome to the podcast series, Future Ready Students, Insights from Education Leaders.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, you have about 18 years of experience in education. Please share with us what has been your biggest lesson as both a teacher and a school leader.
But there are a lot of lessons, but one thing that has stuck with me or striked me throughout those 18, 20 years that I have been working into education is that relationships drive learning. So as a teacher, I have observed that, a student just flourishes so beautifully when he or she feels that they are truly being seen in the classroom. Okay. I can give you an example. Like there was a class, very recent one. There was a class 4 student who was super active in the classroom and not able to pay attention, and especially in the maths class. And then we realized that he has a potential or he has a flair of building blocks and all. So the teacher and we discussed in the meeting, and we realized that maybe we can use those Lego blocks to teach him maths. And now the child is one of the best students of the classroom because he's doing something that he enjoys, and we are teaching him through something that he likes. So that relationship is something that is driving learning. And this goes same as a leader. What I've observed is for the teachers as well. When a teacher feels that she is seen, she's valued in the school, there's a different level of commitment that is seen across in the classroom, which really is so wonderful. I like, again, there was a new teacher who joined us, and we had a class 2 issue where she was not able to conduct the classes successfully. So we paired her up with one of the experienced teacher, and then they discussed the strategies, and we went inside the classroom to help her understand how to go about with this particular class. Her classes have come out so beautifully now, and not just the students benefited. In fact, the teachers' confidence has also improved tremendously. So yeah, that's the power of strong relationships. They spark growth whenever we strike a relationship. That's what I have learned.
Correct, agree with you. So in the education sector, we always say happy children learn better. So when children
I go ahead and say that if one teacher is unhappy, 120 students go unhappy that day.
Correct.
So nurture your teachers as well is
Right.
something that is
right. So as a school leader, if you are maintaining that good relationships, encouraging the teachers, helping them out whenever they are in trouble, I'm sure your students are happy, and so they are definitely learning better.
Thank you. Yes, I hope so too.
Right. So, ma'am, you've led as a principal, and you have also contributed to global education through Cambridge Publications. Tell us, how do you balance classroom realities with global standards?
Well, balancing the classroom realities with the global standard is all about, connection and context. You need to connect the context to the real world of the student. I can give you a quick example. Like in grade 7 English last year, we were trying to discuss a topic on identity. It was a global text because curriculums will give you masterpieces. How you make it alive in the classroom is up to us. So this particular topic that we were handling about identity, the teacher brilliantly came up with an idea, and she asked to write the students a piece about themselves, titling it "Who Am I?" And they were supposed to get examples from their parents, from their families, from their cultures, and also their own experience, which really attached the students to the text. One of the students came up with a beautiful piece wherein she spoke about growing up in 2 different cities, learning 2 different languages. Now, this exercise not only just connected the students to the But what happened is they found their own story in that global text. Now that was something that made the text very, very interesting for them. And I think that's what we are supposed to do. We have to help the students find their own voice in the curriculum that they are studying from. So
Correct.
that's how we try to do it at school.
Great, ma'am. That's a wonderful example that you have shared. I'm sure the audience who are watching this, can easily resonate with that. So it's not just about the curriculum, like you said, it is how well that curriculum connects or resonates with the child that matters, right?
Yes, very much, very much.
Okay. So, ma'am, sustainability is a key word in the job market today. And I'm curious to know what exactly inspired your focus on sustainable development. And also share with us, how do you bring that mindset into school leadership and student development?
Well, that's a very elaborate question, but I'm very happy to answer this because my, focus on sustainability development is actually because of a few of my students. A few years ago, while I was teaching in some other school, a group of grade 5 students came together on one of those environment day assemblies and all, and decided that here on we are going to have no plastic Wednesday. Now, initially people took them very lightly कि हाँ बच्चे हैं एक दिन का करेंगे and all. But what we realize is those children actually went ahead, made posters, they were decorating the class boards. They convinced the teachers not to use plastic bottles and all. Moreover, they also went across the shops around their home and school to convince the shopkeepers to use paper packets. Now, that's when I realized that probably it's so naturally coming to them. If we give them the right tools, it's so naturally that the students become the future well keepers, or future keepers. So that kind of triggered my interest in sustainability. Now, sustainability now has become a part of our school. It's a school culture, not just a subject. In fact, this year, our grade 8 students had a holiday homework where they were supposed to, audit the waste management in their school, and in their home, rather, and find solutions and ways to work around it. This was their holiday homework, the summer vacation homework that we had, and they came up with such beautiful solutions. Again, as a leader, I really try to module this mindset. I try and make eco-conscious decisions in operations, or I encourage project-based learnings in line with the SDGs for the schools. But what what is the most important thing that we do in the school is listen to the students' voice. They come up with some fantastic ideas. It's very interesting because what I feel is when students actually start feeling that their actions are helping to make things better, or they are responsible for a particular task, or a SDG for that matter, they start working with a purpose. And I think that is what sustainability is all about, to catch
Correct.
them young and make them aware about what their roles and responsibilities are.
Right.
So that's how we manage sustainability in school.
Okay. So I really like the homework part, because some schools just give them homework like something related to write this, or summarize that lesson, something like that. But instead, what you have given is actually a project, and project based learning is something that's very close to me, because I was involved in guiding and doing a lot of science research projects. And recently I
Wow.
have also conducted a workshop for teachers in Abu Dhabi in a school, talking about project based
Fantastic.
learning. So when children actually
Um,
involved in project-based learning, that's the time they actually start learning skills, future-ready skills, or 21st century skills that we talk about.
I agree, totally agree. Our class 1 onwards, all the summer vacation homeworks are project based.
Right,
So
right. So that's not just going to help them to be more responsible towards nature in the environment. Through the process, they are actually learning all the skills that's going to make them future-ready. So that's really
that's
a
true.
wonderful initiative that you and your school are doing, ma'am. So also, ma'am, you hold certifications from Harvard and have received awards like the Global Edu Icon and Skill Bharat Saman. So how do these recognitions influence your vision for the future of education?
Well, firstly, they are extremely humbling because you feel nice and you are you recognize your work is recognized. But what it also does with me is it makes me remember the kind of responsibility we as school leaders carry. It reinforces my belief that education must go beyond academics. There's no choice about it. It should nurture capable, sensitive, and future ready students is what these awards or these learnings help me to focus upon and understand. Like after completing the course with Harvard for school leadership and management, I started using the data correctly. We all have data, and we consider that data is just the physical form, but there are so many different ways that we can collect the data from the classroom. And that's what we started doing. We started collecting feedback from the teachers and the students to identify the gaps in learning and teaching. Now, this not just supported the students, but it also made my teachers confident because we were able to identify their issues also, and we were able to identify the issues of the students. So for students, we could start with personalized learning plans, and for teachers, we could identify the areas where we could help them, and we had customized, professional development workshops for them, tailored specifically for that particular teacher in that particular subject or whatever. Now that really gave a different high to my teachers, and also the graph of my students improved tremendously. So I think these recognitions actually motivate me to innovate, take risks, and probably collaborate in a better and a wiser manner. Is what I feel, because again, I have seen again and again that when a teacher or a student feels supported in a learning environment, the learning takes place far much better.
Agreed. Agreed. So when the teachers know that you have their back, they can just
Yes,
walk in and come to you with their problems. Definitely, they're going to be more confident, and like you said, they will go way beyond their time and their capabilities to do more, to offer more, to and be more committed to their students. And then it
I
comes
hope.
back. Yeah, it comes back. So thank you so much, ma'am. It's really very inspiring to know how you are using whatever you have learned. You're actually trying to like put it into practice. So all the knowledge that we gain is of no importance unless we bring it into action, unless we follow that. Right. And,
Very, very.
we have, hardly people like so many of us, do courses and certifications and keep learning and all that. But how many of us actually put that into practice counts. Right. And I'm really, that's very, very inspiring to know that you are using all of that learning. You're actually practicing it. And I'm sure your teachers and students are very, very blessed and happy to work with you. Point
Yeah.
that you what was talking about inclusive education, that again is a it is there in the national educational policy that all children, we should cater to all kinds of learners, but how many of us are doing that?
True. No, we
Right.
just can't see at equality. We have to look at equity also. What about my student who's having a high level of efficiency? What is the school doing for that child? This is also
Correct.
equally important as much as it is important to support a child who's below the grade level efficiency.
Correct. I say, like I was talking to you about, I conduct some workshops and webinars for teachers as well. So this was another, session that I had conducted recently on appreciating different learning styles. We have all kinds of learners in our classroom. So how do we cater to each child? How do we, give that personalized attention to each kind of learner? That is all about inclusive education. Right. So
Absolutely.
everything is there in the national educational policy. It's beautifully designed. But when it comes to execution, actually putting that into practice, it is our teachers who do that, because they are the ones who are in direct contact with the students, who handle the students every day. So taking
I
that, taking all of that information and the policies and the rules and everything, all those beautiful child-centric concepts, and passing that on to the teachers, encouraging them and actually helping them to put that into practice is really, very, very beautiful. And I'm so happy that you are doing it. Thank you so much. And I'm sure
thank
all the school leaders who watch this podcast, okay, will have great takeaways from it. So in today's rapidly evolving world, what do you believe are the top three qualities a future IT students must possess?
This is actually a great question, and I'm so happy that you asked me this question. According to me, I think the three most important qualities that we require at this point is adaptability,
Mm.
empathy, and digital awareness. The world is changing so fast, and we need young minds who are able to adjust in any and every situation, who would understand the perspective of other person, and who would use the digital devices wisely, use technology wisely, is what I feel is the need of the hour.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. Adaptability is such an important skill which has to be taught to the children and practiced and role models so children learn that, because earlier we used to move out of our homes only for like maybe jobs or higher education. But nowadays it's like soon after school or even for schooling, some children will have to move out of their homes, stay in boarding schools. So adaptability is something that is very, very essential for any child, any adult, any career, wherever you go. Unless you try to adapt and, like you said, empathize, understand others' perspective, the tolerance level naturally is going to increase, which is again the most wanted in today's world, where we are fighting for almost everything,
True, true. Yeah, we
right?
need kind of people, Yeah,
Yeah, tolerate differences. It's okay. We are different. You be yourself, I be myself, but we will live in harmony,
true,
right?
very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And ma'am, you are also a UN ambassador for sustainable development goals. Uh, how can educators practically align classroom learning with global citizenship?
Well, the whole idea is to make sure that it is not a separate subject and it is woven into every conversation and every activity that the child is doing. We need to connect these global issues with their real life. Like, let me give you a few examples. For our grade one students, we try and read stories in circle time about kindness, about sharing, which are directly related to SDG 1, no poverty.
Hmm.
So it's not a separate subject. कि, "अच्छा, चलो, आज हम पढ़ेंगे no poverty." No, we don't do that. I'm also very proud to share here that last year, a few of our students represented our school in the Children's World Conference hosted by Upschool and United Nations. They worked the entire year on a project of SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. And of course, they went on drives around the local places in the school. They went home, they made slogans. They also wrote a letter to the governor of the city and the education minister of the city that this is how they audited the usage of water in the school and at their home. And all of this, they made an entire project out of it, and they made the presentations, and they represented our school in this Children's World Conference, showing their views and opinions and solutions to the entire world with 12 other wonderful schools across the world. Now, that is what I feel is very important to link it to their real life. When we see that what we saw in this whole duration of 1 year is when we gave them the responsibility to take the ownership, and when they realized that okay, even if a small action can make a change, I am the real change maker. We gave the onus to them, and that really works. And I think that is what we need to look at when we are talking about sustainability. Weave it across in their everyday conversation, everyday life, everyday school life, house, at home, or whatever. And that's when they will work around it. Yeah.
Right, right. So if children can't actually relate to what we are teaching them, no learning happens. or we just
No,
call
no.
it like rote learning for the sake of exams.
Yeah, and now NEP has also stated about realia. When we are writing books, also we are trying to take examples as close as possible to the house. What is all this? This is all what we are building the students for understanding the global issues which are right there. Like this children's conference actually brought a major global issue right into my school,
Hmm.
of clean water and sanitation. So that's when they insisted that we should have a kitchen garden. The rainwater harvesting should go to the kitchen garden. These were all ideas by my students, which is amazing,
Hmm.
really truly inspiring us.
Right, right. Yeah. So when you actually give the ownership to the students, they come out with such beautiful ideas, and they're so committed and loyal towards whatever project they are working. They are going to spend extra time doing it. They may not be so much interested in doing their regular school homework or something, but if you give them like a project, definitely they'll spend extra time and effort in doing it, and they'll come up with beautiful ideas. So, ma'am, what message would you like to give fellow educators and school leaders who are working to create confident, competent, and compassionate future leaders?
Well, it's too early for me to give my wisdom away, but nonetheless, since you've asked me this question, I think it's very important, and the message will be as simple as a cliche, if I may say that. We need to realize that as school leaders, our role is very powerful. It's like every action of ours matters. To actually build a confident, competent, compassionate leader, we as school leaders need to ensure that we are believing in the potential of every child. Like you rightly gave an example of grade one child. I mean, nobody imagined a grade one child, right? But you need to believe in the potential of that child, and identify and help the child nurture the unique strengths that the child has. Now, it is like I keep on saying this on different forums that I meet people and all. It's about creating a safe space for the
Mhm.
students to make mistakes and learn
Correct.
from them. Please don't chase perfection. Perfection
Mm.
is a myth. Okay, you need to understand that it's important to be empathetic. It's important to give them that little nudge when they require. It's as simple as just making them sit with you and talk. So
Right.
I would request my fellow school leaders, or I would request my friends in the education sector to actually remember how powerful you are, because you're
Mhm.
shaping the future. We are working towards shaping a brighter future, and it is not just a brighter future, but we are trying to raise a community which is more kind, more
Mhm.
inclusive, and more stable, if I may say so, a global citizen. So yeah, that would be my advice: to be empathetic, to be patient, and most importantly, to enjoy what you're doing. Don't stress out of it. Don't stress. It's not worth it. Yeah.
Right, right. So when you actually, when you're in the education field, when you teach children, of course, the job is stressful. You have to do your homework every day. You have to keep learning. Some of my younger cousins are also into the education sector, and I see how much they complain about it. Too much stress, the whole day we are working, corrections at home, all of that. And the only thing I say, some of my past students are also teachers. So whenever they complain, the only thing I say is, all this is worth doing, because one day the child, after years after the child leaves school, someday they're going to come back to you and say thank you for changing my life, or for giving me this piece of advice, or for
Rather,
motivating
go one
me when
step
I feel it down.
Yeah,
So
I
don't
would
think
rather
of
go
it like,
ahead
yes,
and
ma'am.
say that even if they don't come to say thank you to you, at the end of the day, you are aware that you have created one responsible, balanced, stable citizen for the country.
Correct.
You know, It's enough. That is worth all of this stress or the, exhaustion or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, right. Because students sometimes when they are with you, they don't realize the importance of why you are correcting them or why you're telling them this, all that. But once they leave, they definitely understand how important that little correction was or how important that little piece of advice was. And definitely, when you see your students as actually a whole human being, the whole child,
Yes.
not just a student who's there to learn your subject. That was the first advice that I got from my principal as a young teacher. Don't look at your students just as a student sitting there to learn your subject. Look at the child as a whole individual, then automatically holistic development will be there.
That's true. Very wise indeed. Yes. And school is not just for learning subjects.
Subjects.
It's much more. School is much more than just learning algebra and languages.
Hmm.
It's much more. So, yeah, we
Yeah,
need to be
because
conscious about it.
yeah, so school is like almost the first society that the child is thrown into, sometimes
Yeah.
forcefully if the child doesn't like. And so we better, make that a society a safe environment, like you said, allow the children to make mistakes and learn from them. So you provide, the safe environment for children to explore all the possibilities and the opportunities. So even if they make mistakes, it's fine because you are there to protect them, to help them.
Yes, not the students, even the teachers. This
Mm,
world is so dynamic. You cannot have everything. Like I keep saying, don't chase perfection. Perfection is actually a myth.
correct.
Look for consistency, look for, empathy, and your work will be done at the best possible way that you think of.
Right, right. Okay, so thank you, ma'am. That was really a valuable conversation. You have shared so many examples from your own school. It was really, really inspiring, and your leadership initiatives and your leadership skills, are truly commendable. So
Thank
I'm
you. You're very
really grateful and honored to be hosting you today, and I'm looking forward to more such conversations and collaborations in the future.
indeed. And thank you so much. I could learn a couple of things from you as well. It was very kind of you to share your experiences as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.